What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Pushing the Geekdoms. I am your host, Robert Slavinsky, and can we not just get one freaking week where, as DC fans, as Zack Snyder fans, that we could just be excited without some hit piece, some ridiculous amount of information coming from an executive from Warner Brothers or Warner conglomerate, whatever you want to call it. Like, can we just get a week where we're just excited and happy and they don't have to continuously shoot themselves in the foot and shit on the fandom at the same time? It's absolutely absurd. It's annoying. I'm sick of it. We should all be sick of it. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, let's go out there and be toxic. Let's go threaten people. Let's go do this. I am not saying that. I will never say that. But we need to make sure our voices are heard. I know there's some people who are sitting there and saying, oh, it's not all doom and gloom and blah, blah, blah. And no, it's not. It's not doom and gloom. There's still hope to restore the Snyderverse. But let's get into it first here, okay? So, Ann Sarnoff, who is, according to their website, Warner Media's website, she is a chairman of Warner Brothers Entertainment or Warner Media, what have you. Now, what she oversees is she oversees Warner Brothers Pictures, Warner Brothers Interactive, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, HBO Max, HBO. She sits at the head of the table of these, and she is the one who says yes or no to projects. I know people don't want to sit there and say that that's what she does, but it is kind of what she does. She has the power and the ability to say yes or no to projects. Now, she's not the head of AT&T. She's not the head of Warner Media. No, Jason Kilar is the one who's head of Warner Media. He answers to AT&T. And Sarnoff would answer to Jason Kilar. Walter Hamada answers to Toby Emmerich. Toby Emmerich answers to Ann Sarnoff. Yada, yada, yada. What do you have to say? So that's pretty much the hierarchy of all this. So, she does have a say in what happens and what doesn't happen. She did an interview with Variety. Now, the fact that this article dropped today, which is a bit shocking to me, that they would drop it 5 days after the Snyder Cut drops, it is released. But that's what they do with hit pieces. That's what they do whenever they want to change the narrative to their own. And in Variety, they talked about DC. Now, in it, I kind of was hopeful at first because, she was excited and she talked passionately about how exciting it was that they released the Snyder Cut. She also mentioned how it was Warner Brothers. It was Walter Hamada, Toby Emmerich, Jason Kilar herself, with Zack Snyder, who sat at the table and made this happen. So, I was kind of hopeful. I was like, okay, I see what she's doing there. But the thing, there's 2 paragraphs that just completely killed any positivity that this article could bring in regards to the Snyder Cut. Number one, the first thing is the interviewer asked, hey, we got this Restore the Snyderverse thing going on now. Like, what are your thoughts on that? And she talks about how great it is that Zack Snyder's Justice League has come out, but that's it. That's going to finish his trilogy of movies, which was not just a trilogy of movies, it was much more. And that's going to finish the trilogy of movies, and they're going to move forward in another direction with all their plans. The interviewer then asks, well, what about the idea of a David Ayer's cut of Suicide? And she, without hesitation, we will not be working with David Ayer on a cut of his Suicide Squad. Why? Why say that stuff 5 days? 5 days, not even a full 5 days, 5 days after Zack Snyder's Justice League has released, after a weekend that countless servers crashed. How many services crashed, broke records? Why? Like, what's the point behind it? This is just shooting themselves in the foot. This is Ann Sarnoff, a top exec for Warner Brothers and Warner Media, shitting on the fans and shooting themselves in the foot, killing excitement that is out there right now for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like, really think about it, people. I know you're all capable of thinking about it and figuring it out. That's like, it's almost as bad as releasing a movie and then your top exec comes out and says, yeah, don't go see that movie. That's essentially what happened here. And I know that we need to be about positivity, and I'm all about being positive. Like I say in every one of my videos when it comes to the Snyderverse and DC films, stay passionate, stay excited, us united. I say it all the time. And I still stand to that, and I believe that wholeheartedly. 150%, if not more. I believe it. But I'm allowed to be upset. You're allowed to be upset. You have people sitting there saying, oh, she can't make decisions. That's complete bullshit. She's a top-level executive of Warner. Now, that doesn't mean that Jason Kilar or AT&T couldn't come and say, hey, Ann, shut the hell up. Hey, Ann, we're doing this. That doesn't mean HBO Max couldn't say, you know what, we want to continue with Snyder and create a Snyderverse of shows or content. And they have the right to do that, but Ann Sarnoff could very well and very easily say, nope, not doing it. She can. She's able to. She's allowed. That's what her position is about, is making sure that all of these entities underneath her umbrella is moving in a direction that she believes, that her and Warner Media believe is the best course of action. That's what's going on. Now, David Ayer threw up a tweet. And he asked, why not? When it comes to David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Why not? And it's a very good question. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to see David Ayer's Suicide Squad with Steppenwolf in it and all that jazz. And whether you believe what some of these people have stated, some of my friends over at the Culture Nerd or Lightcast or what have you have stated, and that it is a possibility for them to do that, we have to remember and not forget that Ayer had a cut of his movie months and months before it released in 2016. Warner then went in and re-edited it and had, a trailer company re-edit the movie to make it more colorful and bouncy and fun, I guess. I don't know. But this would not even... releasing a David Ayer cut would be far less expensive than what Snyder was given, if not even no money at all. And it would make them money. So why? Why even just say no? Why say anything at all right now when the hype and the excitement for anything Snyder related, anything within the Snyderverse, why say anything negative right now? Because it's a hit piece. Because they are changing the narrative. Because they are sick and tired of the fans getting their way. They don't want to continuously see what they messed up on being successful. And I've said this for months, if not years. Warner Brothers could do one freaking thing. One thing. And that is own up to their mistake. They had an easy out a year or two ago. An easy out. Hamada Emmerich, whomever else could have come and said, look, we're releasing the Snyder Cut. We're working on releasing the Snyder Cut. We're working close with Zack Snyder. The old regime of Warner Brothers screwed up in 2017. We understand that. But we're working on a way to get back in the good graces of you fans. And we promise that from here on out, we will respect you as a fan base and do the best that we can to give you the best content that we possibly can bring you. If they would have done that a year or two ago, they would have no need for hit pieces right now. They wouldn't have to worry about fans being in an uproar. That is the one thing Warner Brothers has been horrible at in regards to their DC-related films. Now, I want to partially blame Marvel for this because Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios have done a hell of a job of being pretty much upfront with their plans, with their motives, with their ideas for the better part of a decade. Because it wasn't immediate. They did adjust over time. So I do want to blame them a little bit for this because the expectation now is that is how you should act as a studio. And while every studio is different, when you have properties like these DC and these DC characters, there is so much lore, there is so much passion and excitement behind what these characters have brought over the better part of 100 years. And that's what I don't think people understand over at Warner Brothers. Is Superman isn't something that's new. Superman is nearly 100 years old. Batman is almost 100 years old. These characters are older than, 99% of living people right now? I mean, they have transcended pop culture. These characters are now our mythology. They don't understand that. They don't understand that it's a big part of what culture is these days. So to continuously just lie to us, to continuously throw it in our face, that's what upsets people. On social media, I freaked out and I demanded that we get answers directly from Warner Media. I think Ann Sarnoff should very much walk out and give an apology for what she stated. I think that she hurt the company drastically with her words. It was unprofessional, incompetent. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You have Zack Snyder, who is one of the nicest filmmakers in the world, according to anybody who's ever worked with him. They screwed up in 2017. They took a step in the right direction in righting that wrong and giving Zack the ability to finish his movie, to release it as he intended. I get that was the victory. I understand that. My issues today are not with them saying there is no more Snyderverse. My issue today is not with them saying there's no David Ayer Suicide Squad. Well, with there not being a future. My issue is not with there not being a future. My issue is with them saying it today, though. 5 days after Zack Snyder's movie releases. Where Restore the Snyderverse has trended for nearly 6 days. Where a Snyder Cut has trended for nearly 2 weeks. And then you're going to turn around and say, yeah, but nah. So any general audience, any people that have yet to go watch it because, it's a 4-hour-long movie and maybe they were busy this past weekend and had to wait a little bit, are going to be like, well, maybe I don't need to go check it out. You know, if it's not going to go anywhere, if that's it, that's the end, what's the point? If it's not canon, what's the point? Like, that's the problem with this. And that's why I tell people, if you don't take this serious enough, if you just look at it as, oh, it's just another hit piece, let's ignore it. If you take it like that, that's how they win. I know we don't want to be toxic, and I'm not saying to be toxic. But they need to understand, and they need to hear us and us telling them how inappropriate, how unacceptable, how unprofessional that was for her to do this. I couldn't imagine. Where I work is a place of entertainment. People go to be entertained. They go to have fun, to relax, to let loose. I couldn't imagine being interviewed by a local paper and me saying stuff like she said. And basically saying, there's no future with this. Don't even bother. That's essentially what she said. I could not imagine that I would still have a job the next day. Why does she? That is how severe this is. Don't sit there and just say, it's not that big of a deal. Because it's a huge deal. The company is being run by people that just don't get it. They don't understand. And when you have people that are running a company that don't understand what they have, well, we're not going to get what we want, and they're not going to give us what we want. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Snyder, for all that he's done, I truly feel for him. Is there truth to this Geekosity report that states that Netflix and HBO Max are in the middle of a bidding war for Zach? I mean, that's possible still, even with what Ann Sarnoff has said. Like I said, my problem isn't with her saying there's no future, because I do believe there is a future still for furthering Zack Snyder's Snyderverse of movies within DC. I do believe there's still a chance that we could get a David Ayer Suicide Squad. But if there is truth to this bidding war going on, if I was Zach, Netflix would be looking mighty good right now, even if they were offering less. And that's where Warner Brothers loses. I wasn't about boycotting movies. I do want to see the Batman. I want to see James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. There's movies I want to see. I love the DC characters, but it seems like every single week, hit piece after hit piece, I get less and less excited to even give Warner my money. If Zach signs with Netflix and he does this big old Army of the Dead universe, and Netflix is willing to do that before Army of the Dead is even released. Can you believe that? Army of the Dead isn't even out yet. And they're rumored to be vying for exclusivity of Zack Snyder, where Zack only creates for that company. And like I said, if I was Zack, it'd be a no-brainer. Fans are going to follow him. Fans see what's going on. It's not going to hurt Zack. The fans aren't going to be mad at Zack if he goes to Netflix. It's going to hurt Warner. It's going to hurt their DC films. Because even the fans who are adamantly Snyder fans are not just Snyder fans. They are fans of the DC content. And they could just as easily walk away. And their movies, those DC movies would make no money. Get no sort of support. Like, what movie in the last, I'll give it 3 years, what movies by Warner Brothers Pictures has been as anticipated, as hyped, as big as Zack Snyder's Justice League? There isn't anything. There isn't. Since 2017's Justice League, Warner Brothers has not had a movie that has been as hyped as Zack Snyder's Justice League. What does that tell you? To constantly throw hit pieces out against what Zack Snyder has done is absolutely just incompetent and unprofessional. Not to mention that Ann Sarnoff defended Josh Whedon. There is no way, and I don't care what a private investigator has said, when you look at the cuts that were made in 2017's version, comparing it to Zack Snyder's Justice League, the racial implications, the racism that was implicated in all this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like, they legitimately cut out people of color. Didn't make the story any different if they would have kept them in. It would have enhanced the story had they kept them in. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. I don't know what else to say on the matter. I think we all have the right to be upset about this. I don't want any toxicity out there. This is not a call for toxic fandom. This is a call to, as we have always been doing, stay passionate, stay excited, stay united. It's very important. You know, keep that hashtag Restore the Snyderverse going. Let's get behind David Ayer right now too. I know that I'm sure he had a lot of hope that his original content and his original vision would be realized when Zack was given the green light. So let's get some support behind David. Let's not forget that our event, Us United, More Than a Hashtag, is coming up this coming weekend, the 27th and 28th. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're all looking forward to it. If you want to send in a video message to Zack thanking him for Zack Snyder's Justice League and what his movie and his universe has meant to you, send that to usunitedevent@gmail.com. Us United Event, just like it sounds, @gmail.com. 30 to 60 second video. Got a handful already. Can't wait to share them with everyone and can't wait for Zack to see them. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's aggravating is what it is. I love film so much, but to see this kind of shit going on is absolutely unacceptable. It's no wonder that, a studio like Marvel is so successful, because they don't come out with hit pieces on their creators. They don't come out with hit pieces on the actors within their universe. It's unacceptable. And I think Ann Sarnoff needs to be held accountable. She needs to answer for that. It's unacceptable. And for all we know, we could have something come out in a day or two that says Snyderverse restored. Again, that's not why I'm upset. I'm not upset that she's saying there's no future of this. I'm upset that she's saying it at all 5 days after the movie that has come out. She's killing the excitement. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what would happen when she said this stuff. It's unacceptable. And none of us should stand for it. Not a single one of us should stand for it. Remember, us united. Restore the Snyderverse. Release the Ayer cut. Get behind David. Stay behind Zack. That's all we can do. Don't bring your toxicity into the mix. Be upset, but show your anger through passion and excitement for what Zack and David can bring us. That's where you have to hone your energy. Stay passionate, stay excited, us united. That's all I can say, guys. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Find me on the twits, @BridgeGeekdoms. All that jazz. Make sure you check out our live show this coming Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking Zack Snyder's Justice League as well as news around the pop culture world, just like we used to do on our old just audio podcast days. But now it's video. Good times. But with all that, guys, thanks for listening to me rant. Throw your comments below on your thoughts. Talk to you later.